Okay, so after I received my marching orders from Wolfie, I got working with ChatGPT, and we've come up with this as a basic pictorial diagram. And now it's time to make it real. Okay, this is the base of the cooler bed. Aluminium sheeting, it's 3mm thick, and this is where all the coils we attach to, and this is where the cooled water will push through. So if the dog sleeps on the other side, that's where he's going to get nice and cold. So I've actually got two of these because I'm going to put one on the base with a rubber matting on it, and that will give it a firm support. Here we have the rubber base. It's about a strong PVC. It's also about 3mm. So this, I'm about to stick this to the metal plate with the nice white side of the plate sticking out, and this will then be the base that the cooler sits on the floor. It will have some feet attached to it, so it's going to be slightly raised, also giving it some extra support for when the doggo charges onto it. Alright, so this is the piping that ChatGPT advised. 8mm outer diameter, 6mm inner diameter. Seems a bit small, but we'll give it a go. Okay, here we have our beginnings of the cooler bed. So I purchased a aluminium sheet. It's like 3mm thick, that conducts temperature really well. So we're going to have cold water coming in through this pipe, and obviously keeping the cooler water in the middle where the dog's going to sit before it ends up coming back out in this pipe. So these clips obviously not the end all, but what we're going to do is then use some aluminium tape down every surface possible. That will obviously conduct the temperature around a lot better, and then we move on to adding the foam cover before a final PVC layer. So it's on the way. Okay, we have the second stage of the build. So we've put aluminium foil over it, we've pinned it down, we've tied the in pipe to the lower pipes, so the cold water is going to come through here and slowly go out. So we've bolstered the edges to give it a bit of height equal to the pipes and filled in some of the gaps. And the next stage is to test whether it actually survives pumping water through it. Here we go. Okay, now we have the pump test. Managed to get all the right connectors finally. It's all done up. Time to turn it on. And there we go. And it is moving. None of the coils are moving. And what do we have coming out? It's running. Woohoo! Stable bed. Next stop is putting this cover onto that. Right, so the next bit of foam is 3mm, so this will raise. I've got these little pins which are definitely above the 3mm line, and obviously this pipe is high, so we're going to try and raise the level before the big foam sheet goes on. So what I'm going to do is cover every pinhead with a bit of lipstick, and we put it on, and then I'll know exactly where to put the holes. So as you can see, when we push it down, I've got all these pin holes, or nail holes I should say, plus we should have the pipe coming through here. So that's what we need to cut out of this sheet so that it makes it nice and flat. And now we have the upside down version. All of the pin heads or nail heads have been marked and the pipe has been marked. So next stage is to use some heated something and empty those holes out. Okay, so now we're going to start making holes. So what I've got is a nail which has a bigger head than the nail head on the things. Wrapped a bit of electrician's tape around it because it gets quite hot. Then we're just going to heat it up in the candle. It's nice and hot. And then you jam it down on the spot you marked. You do that a couple of times and you will end up with these lovely holes. Woohoo! Okay, all the holes have been done. The pipe is showing through nicely. It's all quite flat. Now it gets to be stuck on, and then the final foam piece goes on, and then the final cover. Here we have it before the base goes on. You've got the initial metal plate, 5mm bolster wall, 3mm with the holes for the tube and the nails, and then another 5mm foam bolster. If I was to redo all this again, it'll be a 15mm sheet, and then I would just cut it out from underneath. It's coming together. So here we have the completed, well, almost completed. It needs to be tested. So the water has been tested, works fine. It has now a steel plate, aluminium plate on the bottom. So I'm going to have to figure out how to close the edges. A few bubbles, but that should go away when the dog lies on it. And now I'm just waiting for the aquarium chiller to come, and we will see how cold it can go. Okay, so the chiller is fantastically easy to set up. It's got an in and an out, it actually tells you. Out being the cold water. So I've connected this. I'm using the same pipe from the pump because it came in a pack of 5, the connectors. So I'll put some, what do we have here? Insulation pipe on that one, and I'm about ready to turn it on. So we can see the water is slowly going through. It's coming out a little bit, flowing down the pipe. So it is definitely flowing. Now we have it running. It's currently 22, set to 15. Starting to flow. Only trickling, probably should use smaller pipes, but well, we'll deal with that later. Coming all the way through. Let's check the other side. Is it coming out the end? Yes, very slowly coming out. So we have a circle. So I've turned on the bed, it's around 23 degrees. .24 in places. No, probably down to 23. Okay, set to 15. Let's see what it does. 5 minutes for the temperature to drop below 15. And it seems to have turned it off. So that's the shut off. When it gets below, it turns off. So let's see when it turns back on. Okay, I realised a meat tenderising thermometer is not the way to go. So what I've bought is a few temperature strips, which I've just attached to the bed. So we've been playing with trial and error. I've now set it down to 8 degrees because it was taking longer than I wanted, and I'm very impatient. But if we now look down at some of these temperatures, 14 degrees, 16 over here, 14 over here, and between 14 and 16 here. So it is definitely working. It's definitely warmer in the corner, and it is lovely and chilled in the center for my boy. Right. So looking at it now, I can see the temperature is getting down to 12. Yep. And 14, 12 to 13 there, and 14 there. So I think that is a bit too cold. So I'm going to whack it back up to 10. And I'll just keep on playing with it until I get it to around 15 degrees and it settles, which I think is pretty safe for the dog. We shall see. see. Check out Wolfie's new cooler bed that I've made him. It needs to be sealed up, but it's all been done. Power in there, and you can see the temperature, 14 degrees. I've got in my 14-degree bed at the moment, so obviously that's way too cold, but fucking worked. Bed still a bit cold. 14. Oh, that one's 15 and 14. Yep, so it's still a bit cold. So I've just set it now to 13, and we'll see what that brings it to. So this is the chiller I used, Halia, recommended by ChatGPT, and this is the pump I used, also recommended by ChatGPT. I had another idea which is going to piss Wolfie off. The distance between the plates happens to be exactly 2.5 centimeters. So I went and found this 2.5 centimeter piece of wood that will fit exactly in the middle of them, and it'll give it a firm surrounding. It'll make putting the U-shaped bend on a lot easier, and it'll give natural gaps as well, because it doesn't quite fit, so it'll be aerated. Okay, this certainly would have been easier if I'd cut this out before. I've got all the wood to size now. I'm going to leave a couple of gaps in the ends, just to give it a bit more ventilation. So now is time to glue this to the bottom, and then glue the top sheet to that as well, and then it will be fully sealed. Okay, it's all connected, all stuck together, and it's actually thicker than I expected, so I'm getting a wider U channel today. But thanks to our Temu, £2. Now I've got some bottom, whatever you call them, pillars. I'm going to stick those on today, put the U channel on, and then it'll be good to go. There we have it, completed cooler bed. It's got a nice rubber U channel around the outside. Now I'm just going to test the temperature, and then we can start setting it up for the boy. So let's see how well the cooling has spread. 15. That one's broken. 17. 15 on the side, 15 at the top, 17 and 17. Pretty good. Right, so being that I actually have a husky who destroys everything, we're going to have to protect the pipes. So I bought this little plastic, well, it's quite long, tube which all the pipes can run through until it's hidden away so he cannot destroy it. It snaps on and snaps off, so the in and out pipes will have to go through this so it cannot be destroyed. So one thing we've discovered, the chiller is a bit noisy and it does not need to go on for 24 hours a day. So we bought a timer. We're going to have to figure out when it should start in the morning and finish in the evening, just so it is cool during the day for the boy. And so here we have it. It is on and activated. Obviously it doesn't look all that wonderful down there, but I've managed to put the hoses through some more plastic cladding to protect it. It's going to have a blanket on top, and now let's see if he actually uses it.